I'd like to say a few words about the contract negotiations between the United Auto Workers and the big three auto companies. I've been in touch with both parties since this began over the last few weeks and over the past decade. Auto companies have seen record profits, including the last few years, because of the extraordinary skill and sacrifices of the UAW workers. But those record profits have not been shared fairly, in my view, with those workers. Just as the Treasury Department has released a report pointing out that the most comprehensive report ever dealing with how unions are good for both union workers and non-union workers and the overall economy. Unions raise workers' wages, they said, incomes, increase home ownership, increase retirement savings, increase access to critical benefits like sick leave and child care, and reduce inequality, all of which strengthen our economy for all workers. That's because unions raise standards across the workplaces and entire industries, pushing up wages and strengthening benefits for everyone. That's why strong unions are critical to a growing economy and growing it from the middle out, the bottom up, not the top down. That's especially true as we transition to a clean energy future, which we're in the process of doing. I believe that transition should be fair and a win-win for auto workers and auto companies. But I also believe the contract agreement must lead to a vibrant, made-in-America future that promotes good, strong, middle-class jobs that workers can raise a family on. Where the UAW remains at the heart of our auto economy, and where the big three companies continue to lead in innovation, excellence, quality, and leadership. Last night, after negotiations broke down, the UAW announced a targeted strike at a few big three auto plants. Let's be clear. No one wants a strike. Say it again. No one wants a strike. But I respect workers' right to use their options under the collective bargaining system. And I understand the workers' frustration. Over generations, auto workers sacrificed so much to keep the industry alive and strong, especially through the economic crisis and the pandemic. Workers deserve a fair share of the benefits they helped create for an enterprise. I do appreciate that the parties have been working round the clock. And when I first called them at the very first day of the negotiations, I said, please stay at the table as long as you can to try to work this out. And they've been around the clock, and the companies have made some significant offers. But I believe they should go further to ensure record corporate profits mean record contracts for the UAW. Let me say that again. Record corporate profits, which they have, should be shared by record contracts for the UAW. And just as we're building an economy of the future, we need labor agreements for the future. It's my hope that the parties can return to the negotiation table to forge a win-win agreement. To continue our active engagement, I'm dispatching two members of my team to Detroit, Acting Labor Secretary Julie Hsu and White House Senior Advisor Gene Sperling, both of them have been involved up to now, to offer their full support for the parties in reaching a contract. The bottom line is that auto workers help create America's middle class. They deserve a contract that sustains them in the middle class. So thank you very much.
Happy Friday, friends. This is an important update. Top Democrats are now saying that Republicans are moving forward with brand new legislation that will force many Americans into payments they cannot afford. This could lead more Americans to slip into poverty. Both parties have under 2 weeks to strike a deal on spending cuts, or else a government shutdown will occur. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, in a video later today, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Congress lurched closer to a government shutdown this Thursday after Senate conservatives demanded changes to a non-controversial spending package that had strong bipartisan support, bringing the bill to a screeching halt. According to The Hill, the conflict over the Senate spending bill revealed the divisions in a Republican leadership intent on enforcing spending cuts and other reforms through Congress. House conservatives are refusing to move forward until Speaker Kevin McCarthy agrees to their demands to drive a hard line with Democrats in the year-end spending talks. Senate and House conservatives are ratcheting up the intensity of their tactics fewer than 3 weeks before the government funding expires on September 30th, 2023. Conservative rebels do not want a replay of what happened earlier this year, when bipartisan majorities in the Senate and House passed legislation to raise the debt ceiling by about $1.5 trillion, along with fiscal reforms that many conservatives viewed as toothless or inadequate. The Senate's spending bills has gathered strong political momentum after passing out of the Senate Appropriations Committee earlier this year with large bipartisan majorities. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has praised the Senate's work as a gold standard for good governance and drew a pointed contrast between the bipartisanship on the Senate side and the disagreement in the House. At the same time, conservatives in the House are hardening their demands for steep spending cuts and major policy changes. The Hill has also stated that they are refusing to even open consideration of any spending bill unless they see the top-line figures for the full slate of appropriation bills. Republican lawmakers are moving forward with a bill that would repeal President Biden's new income-driven repayment plan. A top Democratic lawmaker is not happy about it. According to Yahoo News, this Thursday, the House Education Committee began marking up a range of legislation, including a bill that would overturn Biden's new Save Income-driven repayment plan, which is intended to lower monthly payments for student loan borrowers. Republicans in the House and Senate introduced the legislation last week using the Congressional Review Act, which is a fast-track tool that Congress can use to overturn final rules that are put in place by federal agencies. But Representative Bobby Scott, the top Democrat on the committee, does not see it that way. In his opening statement during the markup, he said that the GOP bill would undermine the economic security of millions of student loan borrowers. He stated, if enacted, the legislating would prevent the Biden administration from implementing the plan, sending the student loan system into disarray, and further forcing many borrowers into delinquency, default, or payments they cannot afford. The Education Department recently said that 4 million student loan borrowers have already enrolled in the SAVE, and it's unclear what would happen to those borrowers should the Republican lawmakers' legislation be passed. But still, even if some Democrats join Republicans in passing the bill, Biden is likely going to veto it, and it would be very difficult for lawmakers to override his veto. Student loan payments are resuming in October, and the Education Department has touted its SAVE plan as an option for borrowers who are worried about affording their monthly payments. The department has also put in place a 12-month on-ramp period during which missed payments will not be reported to credit agencies. It is something that GOP lawmakers have opposed as well. Meanwhile, the Education Department is moving forward with its process to get broad student loan forgiveness to borrowers using negotiated rulemaking. Legal challenges could face that plan as well, and Republicans are continuing to move forward with their legislative efforts to block Biden's relief efforts. So, dear friends, should our government be so concerned about student loan forgiveness? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Well, my magnificent and my most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this afternoon. My dear friends, thank you so very much for joining me here and for being part of this community. I will be announcing several winners in a video later today for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My dear friends, please make sure that you enter the giveaway simply by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed day.